All right, everyone, welcome to step 3 in the 6 steps of building 6-figure business with Shopify. This one is all about creating a great offer. All right, and in this video here, we're going to actually overlap quite a few things because creating a great offer is not just about your product, right? Marketing is about the entire offer that you're making. And when I say offer, I specifically mean in this sense like these 3 things: the ad, the product page, and the brand. Together they make an offer, right? An offer can also mean like an offer can also mean like the idea of, are you giving them a bundle package or, something else? And I understand that. But in this sense, I'm thinking about your offer as like your marketing offer. How are you putting all of these things together? Because it's not just about throwing a product out there and saying, hey, here's my product. Click here, buy now. They go to the product page. It's just a simple description. And then it's more than that. Okay. And so we're going to overlap a few things in here. Specifically, this is going to mention Facebook ads. All right. Because like I said in the beginning, this training is all about how to do 6 figures with Shopify and Facebook ads. And so the ad here is going to talk about Facebook. I'm not going to get into actual testing strategies. That's going to come in the next video in step 4. This one I'm just going to talk about like your ad creative and your ad copy. And then the product page, of course, and then the brand being like your overall store. So that's where this kind of overlaps as well with the last video, because the last video I talked about branding and building your store. That's what it was called, but I didn't actually really go too much into the actual store. It was more just concepts. In this video, we're going to actually look at, the store itself, okay? Starting out with Facebook, okay? Starting out with the ad, basically. This is your overall format, okay? So I'm going to break all of this down, but basically the ones we're really going to focus on are the product description, right? Or not product description, the ad copy, the text that you write in the post. The ad creative, that's what this is. This is either a photo or image or a video, right? It's called your ad creative. Then you have your headline, you have your product description, and you have your call to action. All right, we're going to break down each one of these in pieces. Okay, starting out by looking at basically their main things: your ad copy and your ad creative. All right, because your ad copy refers to all your text. All right, so all this up here, all this down here. Your ad copy refers to your text, and your ad creative refers to the image or video, whatever creative you're using. And we're only looking at Facebook ads because Facebook ads is still the hottest traffic source for social media sales, right? And because it also includes Instagram as well. So most of this also spills over to using Instagram at the same time. Not organically, but if you're running ads, okay? So your ad copy tips, all right? Always think about what your product does, not what your product is, okay? Focus on the outcome and think about how that outcome appeals to your audience. And that's why I chose this ad as an example from a brand called The Night Sky. Basically, what the product is here is it's just a picture of stars at night. Right, that's what this company does. They take any day you give them, they can or any day, any place, right? They can map the stars in the sky in really extreme detail, and they print it out, and then they put it in this nice little frame, and they caption it. Okay, so that's what the product is, but that's not what it does, and that's not how they're selling it, right? Because if they tried to sell it based on what it is and said, hey, here we can capture the night sky for you and print it out on this cool piece of paper, like that's not why people would buy it, all right? Here's what they do. They market to the reason of why people would buy this. Celebrate the birth of a child, an engagement or a wedding, or simply a first kiss. Buy the perfect gift today at the night sky, right? So these are the reasons, and we're going to talk about audiences later, but my guess and I'm sure I'm right on this, is that they are targeting these people based on these moments, okay? You can target people on Facebook based on recently having a child, or if they're have a newborn, right? You can target people based on a recent engagement, or if they're a newlywed. You can target people based on if they just entered into a relationship, right? So they're targeting this audience, and they know the reason, the emotional connection, the outcome of why somebody would buy this is as a special reminder of that moment, or a gift, or something like that. So see, they say a gift to remember, sentimental, unique, magical. They're using powerful language that has to do with emotions and getting people in the sense of the outcome of why they would buy this, right? And so it's a really great example of a product description that does that, that speaks to the outcome, okay? And how they blend it with the emotional response, right? By using the heart emoji, a gift to remember, right? Not just a nice gift, a gift to remember. Sentimental, unique, magical. Okay, these are all copywriting things that you can do. You can see the language they're using and see how they're focusing on that emotional language. Okay, be conversational and use emojis. All right, so you don't want to write about your product or talk to your audience in like this Wikipedia style format where you're just presenting information, right? You want to be conversational, and using emojis is great. You notice how every single thing they do, they have an emoji that goes with it. Birth of a child, baby emoji. Engagement or wedding, they have a ring. Simply a first kiss, they have stars with lips, okay? And then night sky, they have a star. So you don't want to overdo your emojis. I like to do it like this as well. I like to put emojis where the emoji represents the text that I just wrote, okay? And so that's something fantastic as a way to do that. And then also a great tip in writing, or in copywriting in general, is to always say something in as few as words as possible, right? And this tends to go against what a lot of people want to do. They want to just write and write and write, but it's okay to write a lot if it's every single word has some sort of meaning or benefit tied to it, and it's not redundant, okay? But you always want to write in as few as words as possible. This is a great tip, it just in general for your writing. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you guys a side tip here called Elements of Style by E.B. Strunk. All right, this is a fantastic book. It might even be free now, or Strunk and White, I'm sorry. William Strunk and E.B. White. I said E.B. Strunk. Elements of Style. All right, this is a book that was written in 1923, and it's still considered one of the best and most influential books. It's super short, action-packed in value, and is just 100% guided principles of how to write. Okay, and so it's a really good book. I highly recommend it as recommended reading for anybody, because no matter what, even if your goal is to someday be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, and at that point, obviously, you will be hiring writers, you should still understand this, because at this stage in the game, unless you have money to hire an advanced writer already, you need to be doing this. So you should learn this stuff, and there's no better place to do it than the Strunk and White Elements of Style. Okay. Next, let's look, examples, right? So looking at some examples, this is an example from one of my ads, actually. Super short, super simple, right? The perfect gift for your wife, using the outcome of why somebody would buy this, right? As a gift with the heart emoji. And then just kind of reading off what the product is. Forever and always interlocking heart necklace with a diamond, on sale here. Super simple, right? Using emojis where they're relevant. A good headline here at the bottom. Sorry, that thing just came up. To my wife, I love you. Right? So like it's meant to be as a gift from a husband to a wife. So that automatically is getting them in the mindset. To my wife, I love you. 5 stars, the perfect gift. Okay? So this is a good example of something that I've done that is more. We're going to look at a few things here actually that I can point out. Also, the Shop Now button, right? Always a Shop Now button when you're running e-commerce products. There's no reason to use anything else. Decorating it a little bit more to make it look nice, okay? That helps. And we're not on ad creatives yet, but that's a point that can help a lot with ad creatives, and using real images, right? Real lifestyle or mock-up style, placement style images, okay? Here's one for a tire pump. This was a trending product. The most handy and convenient way to pump your tires anytime and anywhere. All right. Now, in this one, I employed the use of two Get It Now buttons with a shopping cart. But this one here, the main point speaks to the outcome, right? The most handy and convenient way to pump your tires anytime and anywhere. Portable electric tire pump. Is just the name of the product, and then 5 stars, drive safer with this, right? So you can see how I'm really trying to speak to the outcome, the reason. Drive safer, that's an emotional, tangible thing, right? People want to be safe. People want to have safety with driving. Maybe not everybody thinks about it, but I don't need everybody to think about it. I just need the large population of drivers who do care to think about that, right? So that's 2 examples, one from a photo. This is actually a video. All right. Now, talking about the ad creative in a little bit more detail, we're going to talk about both photos and videos. All right. This is a fantastic ad creative because it is a actual, it has staging. Okay. Staging is a great concept from real estate where when somebody is going to sell a house, instead of selling an empty house with just the rooms, they sell a house that's been staged where they bring in furniture, right? They rent furniture for a day to stage the house and make it look like a home. All right, and it's a fantastic way of actually getting higher value, right? Getting higher offers, getting more people interested, because if somebody walks into an empty house, they have to picture it as a home. Right? But if somebody walks into a house that's been staged already and looks like a home, it looks so much more inviting, so much more beautiful, and more importantly, the outcome of living in that home is much more realistic to them. They can feel it. It's tangible. It's been, So that's the same idea with your product images. This is staged, right? Another way they could have staged this is hanging it on a wall or, multiple different ways, but the way they did it here is really beautiful, and it really works very well, okay? So you want to think about that in all of your stuff, and we'll talk about that more in a second. When running your ads, don't just limit your advertising to only one type of creative. Use a combination of photos and videos to market your product, okay? Because they both can work, and depending on your campaign, right, depending on how big your audience is, you're going to need both anyway. One video can do a fantastic results in getting millions and millions of views on Facebook, but in your retargeting campaigns, to turn all of those views into customers, you're still going to need more photos and videos in there, right? Same thing with a photo. One photo could be seen by millions of people if it's a really good photo that is a really good product. But still, to convince a lot of those people to buy, you're going to need more photos and maybe more videos as well further down the campaign, okay? That all comes in your retargeting strategy, but you want to be thinking about that now in your ad creatives. It's not just about having one. Don't just limit yourself to one creative. That's okay for testing, but realize that the best media buyers in the world, one of their secret weapons is their media team, their in-house graphics team that is constantly pumping out new graphics and videos for them to test. So let's talk about images that sell, okay? These are great. So images tend to work really, really well with apparel and accessories, because apparel and accessories are easy items to stage, to present in a lifestyle type image where somebody's either wearing it or it's been staged like on the left in a cool mock-up type style. And you can see that these are both products that worked, got tons of engagement, because number one, they're a cool product, right? Clever. And number two, because they took it a step further than just putting a shirt on here without any type of background, right? Then just putting the watch on here, and even here, right? Not just one watch, but showing it in multiple. They have multiple photos here of the watch in different things, and they just kind of combined all these photos together into one post, right? Now there is a fantastic tool called Canva. which is free, which I'm not going to open up and go into. It's a free tool that basically has guided templates that makes it easy for anybody, even if you have zero experience with graphic design, to be able to design nice templates for ads, okay, for any platform, not just Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, right, for Instagram stories, or so they have all kinds of stuff, flyers and posters and anything, really. It's a fantastic tool. And they have paid options as well, but you don't even need to pay for it to use it at the most basic level. So it's just a tip for, images that sell. All right, and you can see, keeping up with our ad copy here, the ad copy is simple on these. Halloween is coming with some clever Halloween emojis. Buy it now. Available for various colors and items, okay? Dead Pancreas Society, right? And this is meant to be a joke within the diabetic support community, trending for Halloween, okay? Back to the 1960s. Are you in? Let's get this watch now. Order's yours. And the watch face is a record, right? And which is 1960s time era. So obviously they're going to be targeting older vintage people, people that like vintage, people that like records, people that are older generation for this type of item. Okay, so simple ad copy, good placement of emojis. Very simple lines of like call out to the audience, and then call to action, basically, or call out to the audience and excitement or explanation of what the product is, and then buy, or call to action, order yours, buy now. I generally still use the 1000 by 1000 format for 1 by 1 square for my photos, because it fits well on both Facebook and Instagram feeds. If you want to do stories, you should be getting the larger format, right? Where it's a vertical phone screen size format for your stories, okay? But just talking about in general, Facebook and Instagram, the general square 1 by 1 format still works really well, okay? A tip, always increase brightness and contrast on your photos to make sure they are vivid and stand out. This is just like a little graphic designer tip. I come from a design background. Whenever you're downloading photos from websites and places, a lot of times those images have been compressed. So you can just very easily increase brightness and contrast on those. And that's something that will really go a long way in making it a more vivid picture. And as I said, I believe images often work best for apparel and accessories, food and beverage products, and also home and garden products, because these types of products are very easily to be staged. What you see is what you get. And lifestyle images, like, they work really well in these categories. And of course, photos work well for retargeting products like dropshipping products and stuff as well. But for like the lead ad, the first ad that you're showing people, I think it works really well for all of these categories still. Okay, videos that sell. Videos, so let's look at this video as an example. We looked at one earlier in a future video. This is a medical bra. Basically, you can see how they've created this video, right? They kind of highlight what the problem is, and then they show how the product improves it, right? And I chose this one because it has 16 million views. It's a very successful product, and their ad copy is simple, right? This bra is a game changer. Get it here, and then hit with 3 benefits: comfortable, seamless, wireless, right? And then they have this video that basically tells a story, and that's what you want your video to do. Your video should tell a story in the time that you have of why that product is so interesting and why it should work well. Basically, some tips, okay? First 3 seconds, you need to grab their attention, all right? And that's why people split test thumbnails, because the thumbnail is what a person sees first that gets them to play. So based on different thumbnails, you might have different, attention grabbers, okay? Based on having a question in the beginning of the video, or, like whatever they see in that first second, the thumbnail, the new medical bra, right? Like that automatically is a good thumbnail to grab attention. And then they have these lines and designs and show it lifting up, right? First 3 seconds, that was a good attention getter to tell you what this is about, okay? The story that you want to tell is you're basically, this works for most dropshipping products, right? You are starting off usually by identifying some sort of problem or making some sort of bold claim, like that one, the new medical bra. And they kind of identify a problem without saying it by showing the bra lifting, right? Another one, think of there was a product that was called the posture corrector. And the way that the video started was with a question that said, slouch much, right? And for people that slouch, that question is going to get their attention. Questions are a great way to get people's attention because if your question is targeted to the right audience, it's a natural human curiosity to want to know the answer to that question. So it's likely to get them to tune in for at least the first 3 seconds. And then as long as your video continues to deliver in an interesting way, then they'll keep continuing to tune in for the next 3 seconds and the next 3 seconds, right? So once you've identified the problem or started with like a big call out, then you want to introduce the solution, okay? The medical bra for support, or the back posture corrector brace, whatever. And then you want to, from there, after you introduce the product or you introduce the solution, you want to demonstrate how it solves that problem by like real life demonstration. Then hit it with a few benefit points and then call to action. Okay. That's the general story that you want to fit into like 30 to 45 seconds. Up to 60 seconds, but I find under 60 seconds works best, and making sure within that video you're really highlighting the benefits of the product clearly, okay? So that's the overall idea for how you come up with a video that sells. Now, if you have a good video editor, they might do a lot of this for you just based on their experience. They'll find videos and they'll know how to put the captions together in a logical way that makes sense. But if you don't, you want to just kind of generally follow that storyline of what I just said to really make sure you're walking people through from start to finish, kind of a little mini experience of how that product identifies some sort of problem in their life or changes something in their life, why it works, how it works, and how they can get it. Okay? Next, talking about leading your offer. So final touch of creating your ad sometimes is thinking of a good lead. Now, a lot of times the novelty lead is enough, right? The novelty lead is basically like what we've already been looking at, where it's a unique product that people haven't seen before. And so you're just starting out by like asking a question or making a bold claim with a really good ad creative and then giving them a call to action of where they can buy it. That's basically the novelty lead. Problem lead is very similar, but instead of just like, problem lead is oftentimes based on like asking a question, like the slouch much question, okay? Scarcity lead and price lead are also two ways that you can add some sort of because when I say lead, I just mean like how are you kind of pushing people into your funnel, right? Scarcity lead and price lead are used a lot of times as ways to get people taking the next step. By having only a certain amount left or having a sale that you claim is limited for a certain time. And then the trial lead probably doesn't apply to too many people, but this is a fantastic lead that works for a lot of companies especially if you're like a subscription service, then you can offer them a free trial to something. Looking at a couple examples, here's a price lead example. Do you like modern designs? Check out these sleek and functional iPhone cases. Plus more of your favorite products up to 70% off, right? So they're leading with a sale basically to try to get people interested. Novelty lead, crazy comfortable sneaker concealed with an elegant, luxurious shoe. And it's a great ad creative because it shows all these different pieces broken down in this diagram form, and you can't even necessarily read all of this at first glance, but you're interested. Like, what is this shoe? And this crazy headline they have kind of calls your attention in. How this sole supports you is one of a kind. It's like a sneak attack of crazy comfort. They're using powerful language to really get you interested in what this shoe does that makes it so comfortable and so much better than other shoes. And it's novelty, right? Because the whole idea here is based on like you have never seen something like this before. You've never experienced this type of shoe before, right? To get people interested in wanting to know more. Another type of novelty lead, the most simple and basic kind, and I don't even recommend going this simple where you don't even have a background, but this is something that worked because the design was such a novelty, right? For it, you can see it got a ton of engagement, and I'm sure it did well. Just released, limited time only, so they are using some scarcity in there, right? But really, what's hitting hard on this is the novelty of saying, I don't feel like being an adult today, and having this little animated Deadpool kid character, basically, right? So that's an example, right? Obviously, this is targeted just for people who are interested in this genre, Deadpool, and it's something that worked well because there's no design like this out there. I mean, at least when this was released, I'm sure there was no other type of design out there like this anywhere, and it was something that was just 100% based on the pure novelty of it being a cool design that people liked and resonated with. Problem lead, okay, so this is one for a food company selling, food slash information, right? They're creating content around the products that they sell. So, new to the primal paleo eating strategy. Good question for somebody who's in that interest, because if they are, then that's a problem, and they might be saying yes in their mind. So why? I've put together a box full of my favorite primal products for you. Everything from my own avocado mayo to Cricket protein bars. The best part, my friends at Thrive Market are hosting an exciting giveaway. Now you can win a box of your own, right? And so it's a good, different kind of example of a problem lead, but I thought it was a good one because it shows you a great question you can ask to get people in the right mindset, and then how you can link that into an offer that's going to get people interested. Here's a specific dropshipping one. Get full knee protection, right? They're not even asking in the sense of a question, but the way that it's being framed is that get full knee protection and support with the 3D weaving knee compression pad. So a lot of times with Facebook, you can't always ask questions that call out people in a what Facebook considers almost a negative way. Like if you were to say, do you have knee problems? Facebook might flag that because they think you're calling somebody out for a certain attribute, right? But by just kind of rephrasing the question as a benefit statement, you are identifying the problem in kind of a backdoor way. Get full knee protection and support, right? So obviously if somebody has knee pain or knee arthritis or knee joint problems, they're going to recognize the problem that's buried in there right away that they already have. And so that'll interest them. And then at the bottom, they even add like a little, kind of a call out in a very different way by saying knee injury can include pain, swelling, stiffness, or underlying conditions such as arthritis, without actually saying it in a you format or do you format, because sometimes Facebook will flag that kind of stuff if you're running health and beauty type of offers. Okay. Next, let's talk about the product page. All right. So that was looking at your ad. And now your product page is a continuation of your ad copy and your ad creative. The ad is not designed to sell. The product page is where you want to sell. Okay? This is where you are trying to sell people. The only job of the ad is to get people to click to the product page. And then once they're on the product page, your job is to sell them. A few elements to a great product page that we'll look at in more detail is a great header. Especially on mobile, 90% of traffic is happening on mobile, right? So you need a great header, and we'll talk about that. Proper image, price, and title setup. Trust and social proof, super important nowadays to have on your store. And we'll talk about how you can do that even if you're just starting. And an amazing product description, which we will talk about as well. All right, so one tip for a great product page. Well, so these are some early tips before we start breaking it down in a little bit more detail. Fontpair.co is a really great resource to have, okay? Because FontPair.co, what this does is basically just pairs fonts together. And I've already mentioned that one of the biggest differences in branding that most people don't think about but really makes a big difference is the fonts that you use, right? And this can play such a big difference. Like if everybody out there is using a turbo theme, right, which is popular theme, one of the ways that you stand out and make your look different is by changing the fonts on your version of the turbo theme compared to what everybody else is doing, okay? And this is a great site as a resource to give you ideas. You can even come in here and change the text to see, you know, what different stuff types like in those fonts. So it's a great way to come in and just look, right? I highly recommend this resource. Images and videos inside your product description can make it better. They add a lot. You should definitely try to incorporate images and videos mixed in between the words, so it's not just like one giant block of text. And then if you're using Shopify specifically, apps like Looks or the Vitals app, which I have a section specifically where I talk about apps. This is my #1 most recommended app. You're going to see a link for this in the training, right? So apps like Looks and Vitals allow you to import a list of reviews with a CSV file, meaning you can borrow reviews, right? You can borrow reviews from places like AliExpress and Amazon, and they may not be your reviews, but they are real reviews of the product, right? So as long as they're real reviews of the product, you can manually borrow those reviews. There are ways that you can do it. Usually if you're doing it from AliExpress, like with Vitals, you can actually just import those reviews directly by using the URL. But even if you find reviews on Amazon, you can just type them out manually and import them to your store as a manual method. You're just borrowing reviews, right? They may not be yours, but if it's the same product, then the reviews still count, okay? Let's talk about product descriptions that sell. All products have features, but features are not what sell a product. Product benefits are what sell. Remember, it's not about what the product is, it's about what the product does. People don't buy a car because it's made of metal. They buy a car because of, multiple reasons, right? Some people buy it for the luxury, the appearance. Some people buy it for the utility. So, those things matter, like the engine size and what the car is made of and all of those things. But that's the justification of the price, right? The emotional reason that people buy is what's really the driving force, okay? So you want to sell the outcome. Now, there's a lot of people out there that talk about this concept. Don't sell the features, sell the benefits. It's not really a new concept. In e-com empires, there is a new copywriter or wannabe copywriter on almost a daily or weekly basis trying to regurgitate the same type of stuff in the group. So I want to give you a very tangible way. I did not make this way up, but this is a very tangible exercise you can go through to actually have a process to get benefit, emotional driven product descriptions, right? So you want to identify all the features that a product has first, and then you would go through this process with each of the main features to kind of start putting together the framework of a description. So the first part is taking your feature and asking why. Okay, so in this example, let's just think of carbon fiber and just imagine the product is drill bits. Okay, so you're selling drill bits, and one of the features and your audience, right? So you're selling drill bits. So one of your audiences is going to be like the construction audience. People that do it yourself, home renovation, have construction jobs, work for contractors, that kind of stuff. So then you're selling drill bits for them. All right. So the feature made of carbon fiber. To understand how this becomes a benefit, we ask why. Why is it made of carbon fiber? Because it lasts forever. Once you answer why the feature is important, then you visualize the benefit by thinking about what's in it for me, right? The feature is that it's made of carbon fiber. Why? Because it lasts forever. What's in it for me? Well, it's the last one you'll ever need to buy. Now, the next step is when we personalize the benefit to the audience, okay? So as I mentioned here, this seems simple, right? I just went through it in like a matter of seconds. There's not really any big dramatic reveal, but this is really powerful just in this sense of how you can, because a lot of people just list out features, right? And then other people talk about, well, you need to turn them into benefits, but this is how you actually do that. You take the feature and you ask why. And then you think about what's in it for the customer. What's in it for me? Why should they care? It's made of carbon fiber. Why? Because it lasts forever. Okay, why should I care? Because it's the last one you'll ever need to buy. Boom. That's a benefit. All right? Now, when you can personalize this benefit, you're able to make it real for them in a way that they understand in their everyday life. All right? The benefit is the last one you'll ever need to buy. How do we personalize that? Save up to hundreds per year in broken drill bits, countless hours of time, and all the frustration of having to go back and forth to the store every time you have a new project to buy new pieces. Right? That's how we personalize it in a way that we can start creating paragraphs around different features inside of our product descriptions. Right? So that's really, really powerful. Again, I did not make it up, but I promise you this is how some of the world's best copywriters are, this is the basis. Obviously, you get better at it as you go, but this is the basis for how anybody can start to be a good copywriter in your product descriptions and create personalized, tangible benefits that people relate to. So as another example, let's walk through an example here actually, and let me go to a site called blackdiamond.co. I meant to have a picture of this in my a picture of their ad in there, but I guess I forgot that. But we'll just start off right here with the activated charcoal powder, and we're going to use them, and we're going to look at this as an example of kind of everything that we've been talking about up until this point. As a matter of fact, let me find the ad as well. Okay, so here's the ad that starts their offer, okay? Whiten teeth instantly with no sensitivity. Fantastic headline because it calls out exactly what people would be interested in, and it puts that no sensitivity part in there. Then they use a lead where they are basically doing a price lead. Get it while it's still 50% off with free shipping. Get yours here. 18 million views. You can see this did really well. If we want to look at the actual product itself, or the video itself, it's a second to load here. So it starts out by grabbing attention for sure, right? Like you got this woman with all this black goo in her mouth, and so it's getting your attention definitely right away. As people are using it, and then it's going to start talking. I mean, they're going with a pure novelty play here, basically by calling out the attention of what it is and going for this like really different cool factor, and then explaining what the product is, how it works, the benefits, and everything. Right. So then, if we open up the product page, they even do this. To show you like the difference of how it's whitening shades of teeth. And this is a really good video because it's showing people actually using the product. So it's very, very interesting. Now, when we were to click on this and open up the product page, some things that you notice really right off the bat. Okay, first of all, great branding. Very minimal open face design. Their font is perfect, right? Like this big bold font here, all black and white with just the red to show money off in sale, and then the font that they use in the product description. So they've done a really good job on their branding, the overall feel and look and color scheme and fonts that they've chosen here, the minimalist, professional kind of design that they're using. But I want to look specifically at the product page, right? That's what I'm really focused on here, and product descriptions. Okay, so if we're coming into that part, let's take a look. So For a smile you will absolutely love. Great headline, because they're automatically speaking to the benefit and they're wrapping it in an emotional context, right? Everybody, just about everybody, and definitely everybody who's visiting this product page would love to have, wants a nice smile, right? Likes a white, nice teeth smile. And then that you will absolutely love. So they're kind of wrapping that emotion in there. Then they go in and they really describe it well. Instantly whiter teeth with our 100% organic coconut shell charcoal teeth whitening powder. Our patented formula lasts over 150 brushes. That's 2 months. It's jam-packed with detoxifying ingredients to gently but efficiently remove stains, right? So why is it jam-packed with these ingredients? To gently, efficiently remove stains, okay? Organic peppermint and organic orange peel. Why? To help fight germs and detox your kisser all at the same time. Harmful chemical teeth whitening is a thing of the past. Polish your teeth and straighten the enamel the healthy and natural way. Really benefit-focused points that talk about not just what it is, but what it does. What is the outcome? Why does it matter to me? And getting people in the mindset of how to use it, right? So it's like real life application. They're showing you how to use it. Great trust badges at the bottom, ending off with some good bullet points. And these are benefit driven. Brighter and whiter smile. Prevent gingivitis for healthier gums. Freshest brush. No harmful chemicals. Ego boost. From your super white teeth, right? 100% money back guarantee, and then they have their video again. So really, really good example of a product description. Now, if we break down a little bit more of looking at their product page, we can use the inspect here to see how it looks on mobile, and looks really good, right? This header bar at the top with the call out. This is a great thing when I say your header on mobile, right? This is what a header on mobile should look like. Really bright, clean, clear, minimalist logo. Menu on the side here. Shopping cart with a header or an announcement bar. If you have some sort of sale or free shipping going on, having this announcement bar is a great thing. Really bright, clear product image. I like how they opened it so you can get this like effect here of the actual powder. And you can see everything. Now, depending on your image, you can't always see the price, but this is really great that above the fold here, you see the actual title of the product and you see the price as well. Okay, add to cart button, of course, and then it goes into the product description. They don't have any trust badges under or payment logos under here. I still like that sometimes on stores. Like, I think it looks good to have payment logos under the add to cart button, but not always necessary. This is a huge factor, right? Having the reviews right under here is a huge, huge factor that really goes a long way in making your store look good or your product page look good. Mixing images, right? Mixing images and videos without or through the whole thing to really break up the context of the page and give it a good feel, and then having the actual reviews at the bottom, then with a nice simple footer. Okay, so I really like this product page. The only thing I would say that they could have done differently is added in a sticky add to cart button, which it doesn't seem that they have for some reason. Yeah, I would have added in a sticky add to cart button as well. But other than that, I mean, and I usually use the payment logos under here. But other than that, I think it's a really good page. So if we look at, let's say we look at another one. Alright, this is another brand that I know as an example. I actually have a similar brand to this, but I would rather use theirs than mine. Okay, so you can see they have a similar setup, right? But they are using the payment logo, okay? And they have some more trust badges. So the overall format is pretty much the same of what I'm showing you, and it's how I do it as well. They have a double header here with a phone number, but I don't think that's necessary. And then they have the sticky. This is what I mean by sticky add to cart button, right? Where once you scroll past the add to cart, they're either on the top or the bottom of the page, it sticks. And if you have a Shopify store, there are apps that can do this, but it's great for people that scroll all the way down because the button stays with them the whole way, okay? okay? So I like the sticky add to cart button in that context because it really helps improve your overall add to cart percentage. All right, and actually what I'm going to recommend as an app where there will be a link that you can use this app, or you can get a free trial for this app, is the Vitals app. And this is great because if you can see here, right, the Vitals app allows you to do almost everything that you could possibly need, right? You can use product reviews on this app, and on this, not just like you can import product reviews from AliExpress, you can write your own product reviews, you can edit everything, unlimited for all your products, right? Whereas other apps like Looks and Ali Reviews make you pay more money to access like more products and reviews per product. You can do all the same functions here within the entire app, okay? You can do your trust badges and seals. You can do your payment logos. You can add these things if you want. I don't usually do the recent sale pop. Product bundles is a fantastic one to use, okay? You can bundle products right on the product page. Wheel of Fortune and the Smart Bar. Smart Bar is like your announcement bar. Wheel of Fortune is the pop-up that comes out that shows... Let's see if we can get at the... Oh, it's not popping out for me. Anyway, it's the Wheel of Fortune bar that pops out here, and it's like spin to win a prize kind of thing. I don't personally use that one either, but it's something that a lot of people like, right? And what I'm trying to show you is that this app has everything you could possibly need. It is the best Shopify app, hands down, right? Because it has all of these. You can do stock urgency. It has the sticky add to cart. You can add shipping information tabs. You can add recently viewed or related products at the bottom, which I do like to do because I think it makes the store look more complete. Unless you're running a one product store, but if you have multiple products on your store, having related products and recently viewed at the bottom is good. Some themes include that automatically. That's why I don't have this one turned on in this situation. But if your theme doesn't have it, you have both of them. You can do the countdown timer, animated add to cart button, even install multiple pixels on your store if you want to be able to have different pixels that track different things, or have backup pixel for scaling, that kind of stuff. I use all of these for the cart abandonment page, right? So you can have a cart reserved message, cart favicon, page title in an active tab, hide payment buttons on the cart. So like when... Okay, so when we come here and click add to cart, so they're using the countdown timer for Valentine's Day, and then you see how you have, so like you can do a reserved cart message up here that would say like your cart is reserved for a few minutes. You can add logos in here on the checkout page. These things are good. Page title. This is the page title on an active tab. This is cool because like you see how right now I'm not on this page and it's not doing anything. When you have this one turned on, it'll like have a flashing logo or icon here and change the message to say something like, hey, come back if they leave your store. So it's just like a top of mind thing because when people are on desktop, a lot of times they have multiple tabs open, right? You can see the rest of them. I'm not necessarily going to go through all of these because it's pretty self-explanatory. Each one, when you open these up, like you can customize each one of them. Okay, so I can open up the sticky add to cart and customize it. Open up the currency converter, customize it. Install Facebook Messenger chat and all these different things. You can protect your store with the cookies bar. Make it so they can't see your best selling. Make it so they can't click and copy your stuff. This is you should definitely get it. The whole app. So it comes on the Shopify store. It comes with a 7-day free trial with Ecom Empires. All right, I know the guy who created the app, so I got him to give everybody who's going through this training a free 14-day extended trial and also a 10% off discount. So you get an extra 7 days to try it for free, and you get a 10% discount. The app after the free trial is $29 a month. basically the same as your Shopify plan, but you're going to get a 10% discount, so it's more like $26 a month, and it actually saves you money because you need most of these apps anyway on a high converting store. Just the review app alone normally costs at least $10 a month, right? Sticky add to cart is normally another $3 to $5 a month. Currency converters another $10 a month, right? Product bundles can be so a lot of this stuff, like when you start adding all these apps up, Wheel of Fortune is a $10 a month app. Multiple ones here. Facebook Pixels. The Facebook Pixel, some apps like Trackify are like $20 a month just for the same thing. So it really starts to add up, and you're saving money using this by having all these apps in one. You can customize to turn them off and on whenever you want to, and make it so that your store is fully optimized and looks really good too by using this. So I will have the link under this video, and it's also in the resources section for downloading this app. And I highly recommend using it. It's the best app on Shopify. It gives you everything you need for a highly converting store, okay? And as a note with the Vitals app, when you use the link below the video, when you click on that button, it's going to take you to download it in the Shopify store. It will still say 7-day trial because the Shopify store can't dynamically update the pages based on the link you're using. But you will get the 14-day free trial, and the 10% discount will be credited to you after you install the app. I promise you. All right. Now, the final thing, let's look at the brand. Wrapping this up, talking about, by the brand, I mean the rest of your store, okay? All goes into creating a great offer. All goes into why, people will buy from your store when they see an ad or a product that they like. So, a few things I'm going to talk about specifically. One is optimizing your homepage. Your homepage should be, basically, I have this diagram here to show what people want to see on a homepage. Products and services, number one. Contact information, about the company information, testimonials. So, these are the main things that your homepage should basically look like. It should basically be a sales page, like a collection page for people when they land there. Most of the time, you're advertising direct response, right? So you are showing people ads on Facebook and getting them to click right to the product page. But some people will shop around, and if your store starts to get a lot of traffic, you'll get more people visiting your homepage. So this is basically the general overall look and feel I try to go for with the homepage. And we can look at their store as an example because they do this well also. So big, bright type of banner image, right, that looks really good, should be themed or trending to whatever the current holiday is, or current trend or sale or whatever it is. So this is for Valentine's Day. Should have a link to shop now. They have their best-selling collections showing and different products, and then they have their reviews showing and a behind-the-scenes video of how the product is made. So this is a really a good example, right? And basically exactly how I would set my store up. If you don't have a lot of collections, then just list all your products instead, right? Just have all your products on your homepage to show. If you just have a one product store, then you would do more of a long form sales page on your homepage, right? So they have a video of their product. They display, they have multiple products, so they're displaying all of them, collections, brands that use it, and then a bottom image, okay? But anyway, if you just had one, I guess they've branched into more charcoal products now. If you just had one product, it would just be more like a long form sales page. It would look like a product page, right? Your homepage would basically be a reflection of your product page. But you can see mostly that's what people want to see. They want to see your products on the homepage. They want to see a little bit about the company and the marketing. Your banners should always be action oriented to shop now, right? And then basically any reviews, testimonials, brands, credibility you can add in at the bottom. Some company marketing collateral always looks good. So that's everything about this is good, I would say, except I don't like the footer. I tend to follow a footer that's more like this, where you have your logo, your customer service links, right, and then your social links as well. optimizing your About Us page. So About Us page is actually the second most visited page on any website. This is important. A lot of people overlook this. And it makes sense why it's the second most, right? When people come to your store, not everybody, you will be able to get front-end sales of people that are just excited you did a good job marketing. They want to buy the product. They're convinced it's a good price, and so they go through and they buy it, okay? But a lot of people are going to want to know more about the company that's selling this to them. They want to make sure it's somebody they can trust. They don't want to get scammed, this and that. So you want to have a good About Us page. Now, this is an example here. It doesn't necessarily need to be this in-depth and complicated like Maz has a really nice one. I just have this here kind of as a placeholder thing. But some basic guidelines are having a headline or tagline, okay, of what your page is, like almost thinking of it like the title to a story, okay? Having images that have some sort of meaning to your brand, okay? Creating a little bit of a story that connects with your audience. It could have to do with why you picked the name of the store you picked, whatever your brand name is, or why you have the type of products you have, the type of audience you sell to. You should try to make it meaningful so it connects to your audience somehow. Try to make it about your customers and about the shopping experience, and also mix in there like explaining the benefits of shopping with your store. Okay, I'll go into a good About Us page. I'm not going to jump into this too deeply because you can just come to stores and look at About Us pages and do some research, right? So they lead off with a tagline of first, vegan friendly. We know charcoal, over 10 years of doing this, shine bright light. So, I see why they're doing this. They have a really in-depth About Us page where you can click to actually go more. That's interesting. Their About Us page needs some work, huh? It just all leads back to the home page. Anyway, if we look at what these guys did, right, they created a brand, and they created this brand, right? This is not actually like a real person. It's not really a Jennifer Stone that created this. This is just some guys, some marketers that created this entire story and this entire brand, right? And so you can do that, okay? Now, they're borrowing some credibility based on where they're getting some of their products from, right? And the real designers from behind these products. But they are borrowing this credibility in this story, which is a fantastic fantastic example of being able to create a story around what you are, around your store, what you're selling, what you're doing, taking it a step further than just saying, oh, we're an online store that wants to bring you cool products at a cheap price, right? Take it a step further and create a background to what you're doing. Store-wide tips that I kind of already talked about. Have a header bar that highlights a benefit, okay? Something like all domestic, free shipping on all domestic orders, 50% off store-wide, right? That's the header bar. Minimalist design. This works really well. You can see with both of their logos, they both have very minimalist style logos and branding. That's really on trend right now for the current times in the online shopping world. Have a footer that includes a lot of information, all right? I like having a lot of information. You don't necessarily, they don't necessarily Black Diamond, but I think when you're getting started, the better information that you can include, the more it's going to benefit you, right? So having for me, the way I would have set it up is the logo just like this. I would have this, call it the customer service menu. Then I would have support, and I would just have some text in here about you can email us 24/7 at this address, and then I would do the same here with the social links, right? So I think that's really good. Has everything. The only thing I like to add is some customer service info so people can readily see that they can contact us. Now, they don't need it as much, I guess, because on their mobile, they have their phone number showing up at the top, right? So that's that they have their customer service info kind of in the header already. So that's the overall. Again, if you want to see the mechanics of me building this store like this in the process, then you can watch the case study videos that are later in the Ecom Empires Academy. It's in their own section. But this shows you how you can exactly reverse engineer and what to do with it. I've given you the themes. I've given you the best app to use. I've told you how to do it, and I've showed you exactly what you can model it after there and good ideas of what it should look like for you to be able to build this, right? And then I also have other videos, like I said, case study videos showing you step by step how I actually build this myself and set it up. The only thing that's not really I'll try to include somewhere is a case study, or not a case study, but a little video on how you can generate your own reviews, right? Because these are really important in 2020, having a product page that has reviews on it. And if you are starting out without reviews, obviously you're going to need to borrow reviews, but that's easy enough to do. Again, you just need to get the Vital app, and then you can borrow the reviews and use the product reviews section here to borrow reviews from AliExpress, right? And that's the best way to do it, and it'll look very similar to how you see it here. You can customize the stars and how you want it to look and show up, right? What I meant to show you is the product, like how they have it here, right, with the yellow stars. Is very similar to how it'll look, okay? And then you can start collecting your own reviews as you make sales, because this also lets you do that, right? It's not just for importing reviews, it also lets you set up automatic review collection to go out to people that have purchased from you, so that you can start adding your own reviews to the products as well, okay? But that's all they're doing here, is they're borrowing these reviews from AliExpress. Alright, so that's everything for this video, right? Creating your offer, from your ad creative to your product page to your overall, just how your store should look and feel. I think this has been super value packed, all within an hour, and sorry about that, I'm getting a call, but the video is over at the same time, so let me stop it here, and then I will see you in the next video, where now that we've built all of this up until this point, we're going to start taking it into actually testing your products with Facebook ads and looking at how you can start generating traffic.